welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this. From, Substack, technically this is from Greenwald's own words. So, okay. My resignation from the Intercept. To give you a bit of an idea, Glenn Greenwald founded the Intercept with another guy, I forgot his name, but they founded it around 2012, 2013, after he left The Guardian. It was supposed to be kind of a left-leaning, but mostly trying to have some sort of journalistic integrity. But, as apparently happened, that did not quite cover what just happened right now. So let's read more or less, because the blog post, I'm gonna read some of the cliff notes that I actually read. I forgot to actually highlight them, but here we go. Since it's a bit long, let's go through it. Today I set my intention to resign from the Intercept, a news outlet I co-founded in 2013. With Jeremy Scahill and Laura Poitras, as well as from its parent company, First Look Media. The final precipitating cause is that the Intercept editors, in violation of my contractual right of editorial freedom, censored an article I wrote this week, refusing to publish it unless I remove all sections critical of Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden, the candidate vehemently supported by all New York-based Intercept editors involved in this effort at suppression. The censored article, based on recently revealed emails and witness testimony, raised critical questions about Biden's conduct. Not content to simply prevent publication of this article at the media outlet I co-founded, these Intercept editors also demanded that I refrain from exercising a separate contractual right to publish this article with any other publication. Holy shit, pickle! So basically, they kicked him out of his... Not kicked him out, he pretty much bound him, taped a goddamn filthy tape up his mouth, kicked him, and then thrilled him through the shocks and silenced him completely. That's what actually happened in here. Ooh. Holy shit, pickle. Yes, it seems that most of the left-leaning media, maybe all of them in some sort of way, perhaps almost all of them, are in bed with the Democrats, or they support Joe Biden. For instance, I think all the media or all the news agencies and TV news or things like that shown on this goddamn filthy shithole I currently live in, all support the Democrats. They were showing reports of how Joe Biden is great, how Trump is evil, and completely and utterly ignoring this stuff. I haven't seen a single news report ever about these emails, not even once. This is annoying. This is fucking annoying. And not only is it annoying, but this shows that the media is absolutely in cahoots with the controlled left, and they have absolutely no integrity. And look, I absolutely hate some of the opinions Glenn Greenwald has. I disagree with him a lot on what he says, but there are a few things that I am capable of admitting, or at least supporting, because one, he actually stands for free speech. He actually supports freedom of speech, and that for me is a huge bonus on him. And that I wholeheartedly support his views on that. Two, with this, he showed journalistic integrity. And on that, it makes me a fanboy despite actually disagreeing with maybe 80% of the stuff he says. This is journalistic integrity, and this is what I want from journalists. This is what journalism should be. Standing for the truth, despite him being an actual anti-Trumper himself. He actually stood for journalistic integrity with this article here, with his actions. This is what you should be as a journalist. Despite having your own biases, despite hating Trump, despite doing all of that, despite maybe him being a Democrat for himself, I do not know. He showed journalistic integrity and did this. He decided to report the facts, what was happening, and despite being censored and all those things, he sent his letter of resignation and all those things, and being attacked by the control left media and all those people, he still showed journalistic integrity. This is what you have to be, journalists. This is what a journalist really is. This is a true journalist. This is what I want. This is, when I view a journalist, this is what I view, or at least I used to view. Now when I see journalists, I see potential learn to code people, or burger flippers, or activists. But this is what, when I used to imagine journalists, the investigative journalists and other things, this is what I imagine. Let's keep going. I had no objection to their disagreement with my views of what this Biden evidence shows. As a last-ditch attempt to avoid being censored, I encouraged them to air the disagreements with me by writing their own articles that critique my perspectives and letting readers decide who is right, the way any confident and healthy media outlet would. This is another thing that I absolutely respect Greenwald. He actually supports a discussion back and forth. Does somebody disagree with me? Then go on, write the article and let the readers decide who is right, who is wrong. This is another one of those things that I absolutely support about him. But modern media outlets do not air dissent, they quash it. He's absolutely correct. So censorship of my article rather than engagement with it was the path that these Biden supporting editors chose. The censored article will be published on this page shortly. Well, this is actually beyond the scope of this video, so I'm gonna leave it there, but let's keep going here. And the emails with the Intercept editors showing the censorship here. Later on, my letter of intent to resign, which I sent this morning to First Look Media President Michael Bloom, is published below. Yeah, he actually published it below there. As of now, I'll be publishing my journalism here on Substack, where numerous other journalists, including my good friend and great interpretive reporter Matt Taibbi, have come in order to practice journalism free of the increasingly repressive climate that is engulfing national mainstream media outlets across the country. Not only across the country, which I'm pretty sure he means the US, but across the world. We can see that on BBC in the UK. We can see around all the news channels around in this shithole of a country I live in. They are pretty much doing the same exact thing. For instance, they actually go on and read BuzzFeed articles or CNN articles and share it as news in here. Even the goddamn lies and fake news that has been debunked that CNN printed on, what do? They just translate it and publish it here. It's absurd. Holy... Let's let's keep going. At least these few paragraphs are important. This was not an easy choice. I'm voluntarily sacrificing the support of a large institution and guaranteed salary in exchange for nothing other than a belief that there are enough people who believe in virtues of independent journalism and the need for free discourse who will be willing to support my work by subscribing. Exactly. He actually is sacrificing all of that for this. So in that case, you have no idea how much respect I have for Glenn Greenwald over all of this. Like I said, I disagree with practically 80% of what he says. But this earned a huge respect. I may disagree with him in most cases, but I respect him. And that's important. Like anyone with young children and family and numerous obligations, I do this with some trepidation, but also with the conviction that there is no other choice. I could not sleep at night knowing that I allow an institution to censor what I want to say and believe. Least of all, a media outlet I co-founded with the explicit goal of ensuring this never happens to other journalists. Let alone to me, let alone because I have written an article critical of a powerful Democratic politician vehemently supported by the editors in the imminent national election. But the pathologies, illiberalism, and repressive mentality that led to the bizarre spectacle of my being censored by my own media outlet are ones that are by no means unique to the Intercept. These are the viruses that have contaminated virtually every mainstream center-left political organization, academic institution, and newsroom. I began writing about politics 15 years ago with the goal of combating media propaganda and repression, and regardless of the risks involved, simply cannot accept any situation, no matter how secure or lucrative, that forces me to submit my journalism and right of free expression to its suffocating constraints and dogmatic dictates. It's quite fascinating what he goes through here. He delineates some of his history regarding this and other things, current iteration. Let's read this. The Intercept is completely unrecognizable when compared to the original version. Rather than offering a venue for airing dissent, marginalized voices, and unheard perspectives, it is rapidly becoming just another media outlet with mandated ideological and partisan loyalties. A rigid and narrow range of permitted viewpoints, ranging from establishment liberalism to soft leftism, but always anchored in the ultimate support for the Democratic Party. A deep fear of offending hegemonic cultural liberalism and center-left Twitter luminaries, and an overarching need to secure approval and admiration of the very mainstream media outlets we created, the Intercept to oppose, critique, and subvert. Yes, it's pretty much the average stuff that we have been saying, me, Tim Pool, and everybody has been saying about the media currently. But let's pretty profound about John Vox. Let's see what else that I'm forgetting here, because like I said, he wrote quite a lot, and he showed his history, everything that he has been doing and doing in regards to this. Being censored this week, my own news outlet, I have been exploring the possibility of creating a new media outlet. I have spent a couple of months in active discussions with some of the most interesting, independent, and vibrant journalists, writers, and commentators across the political spectrum about the feasibility of securing financing for a new outlet that will be designed to combat these trends. The first two paragraphs of our Orkin document reads as follows. Not really that. Alright, here. Here's the email he actually sent. And then the comments. And it shows that people have been listening to what he says. And he's correct. The current media is completely and utterly out of their mind. They have been supporting the Democrats. They have been making excuses for them. And the media all worldwide, in fact. They have been doing the same thing in the shithole I'm currently stuck at, which is a very big, massive shithole. It stinks every single day. And believe me, it's worse than The next day, the following day, after a very spicy taquito night dinner. It's bad in here. Trust me on that. Coffee. I need that. I definitely need coffee. Because, quite frankly, the world is going to shit. But hopefully it doesn't become a shithole like the shithole I'm stuck at. Because quite frankly, the world cannot deal with another shithole, especially... you know what? Thank you for watching. See you on my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more of my beautiful mug. Because, quite frankly, who wouldn't? Look how sexy I am. Even I shaved today just for you guys. Look at that. I don't do that for anybody else. Really, I don't. See, that's how important you guys are for me. I made a sacrifice, and I cut myself in various little places here on my face just for you. See that? Just for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. Good night.